This is the only Phantom Troupe ranking you will ever need. Hello and welcome back to Suck War Central. My name is CJ and today, on this fine Valentine's Day, we are going to be ranking most members of the Phantom Troupe in the only way that matters, by attractiveness and dateability. That's right, it's a Valentine's Day special. Now, we're going to be excluding 3 members of the Spiders. Kaluto, for obvious reasons, Kortopi, because I don't want to take any chances, and Hisoka, because he was never really a spider. And trust me, y'all do not want to hear my thoughts on this man. I also want to be clear that these Riz rankings are entirely subjective. Please do not come for me because you do it differently, since this could be an extremely controversial topic. I know how people get about this stuff. So, let's dive in and see which members of the Phantom Troupe would receive a Valentine from me. Starting off in last place, we've got Banolanov. This guy probably smells like old bandages 24/7, and his outfit is just atrocious. He's trying to go for 5 different things and failing at every single one. Plus, personality-wise, he's just not a very interesting guy. I can't really picture him doing anything for fun. I wouldn't even want to be friends with him, let alone want to date him. Sure, he's got holes all over his body, but that's not something I am equipped to take advantage of, so let's move on. In 11th place, we've got Shalnark, and he's here because I cannot stand him. The one thing he's got going for him over Banolanov is that he's cute, but everything else about him is just the worst. He's so goddamn annoying and has this stupid little actually way of speaking, and I can tell you right now that being around Shalnark for more than 15 minutes would make me want to do something YouTube would age restrict me for saying. He reminds me of my least favorite coworker that I've ever had. Their personalities are almost exactly the same. I wouldn't date this man. I would torture this dude in a shipping container for up to a year. God, I hate Shalnark. I am so happy that Hisoka killed this smug little nerd, and I never want to see him again in my life. In 10th place, we've got Illumi. Now, Illumi is also here because he's boring. Not as a character, mind you, great character, but just as a person. What kind of quality time would you even spend with him? Killing people? No thanks, man. I mean, it's fine if he wants to kill people, but it gets annoying when he makes it his whole personality, you know? He also has really controlling tendencies, which I could put up with for someone who is worth it, but Illumi just isn't. He's boring, he eats like a freak, and he looks like an alien. Not interested. 9th place might get me some hate, for it is the resting place of Shizuku Murasaki. She's very attractive, I'll give her that, and she's also a little charming, but I feel like I would get tired of being around her so quickly. She has a sense of fun, sure, but she's just so absent-minded and not that smart that I would find it grating if I were dating her. Hot take, Shizuku is the dumbest member of the Phantom Troupe. We could be friends, we could hang out, but I would actually go insane if she were my Valentine, and no amount of bombastic suck could make up for that. 8th place, I'm gonna give to my boy, Phaeton. I would almost date him, honestly. He's very cute, he has a great sense of fashion, he likes weird art, he's smart, and while most people might disagree with me, I find his personality charming. However, there's 2 reasons I wouldn't get with the guy. Firstly, he's a bit obsessed with torture, which is kind of a deal breaker with me. It's a really gross hobby, like how I would never date a smoker. Secondly, I get the feeling this greasy-haired fellow only showers once a week. Listen, I've got standards, okay? You gotta shower at least twice a week if you're gonna be around me. 7th place is where we get into the yes section. I'll say it, I would date Franklin. He's smart, he's handsome, and although he's a bit stoic, he has a sense of fun and playfulness. I could see myself playing games and spending quality time with this guy. He also really cares about the people in his life, as evidenced when he helpfully outlined that the worst case scenario for the spiders in York New would be total annihilation. Such a sweetheart. That said, there are a couple of things that prevent him from being placed higher. He's very reactive, as demonstrated by how he chooses to sit and wait around for Hisoka rather than hunt him down. In my life, I need a partner who's more proactive in situations like that, and who's ready to take just a bit more initiative. Also, his fingers are all gun barrels, which, let's just say that makes me really nervous. But you know what? Franklin's good enough that even with these flaws, I'd try to make it work with him. We're halfway through my deranged ramblings now as we reach number 6, Uvogin. Now, Uvo is just a pleasant guy to be around, provided you're not fighting him, of course. He has such a charming and delightful personality. He's just a silly little guy. Okay, maybe not little, but he's got this joyous whimsy about him that's very hard to find in a man, and I go nuts for that. He's loud and expressive and cheerful, and I love him. He's also pretty handsome, which is a bonus. The thing is, I feel he might be cooler as a friend than a lover for a couple reasons. For one, I do not like his fashion sense. He just has negative drip, and I would be a little embarrassed going out with him. For another, he seems like he might just be too much of a dude bro for my taste. Definitely on the smarter end of the dude bro spectrum for sure, but a dude bro nonetheless. I don't know. It's hard to really say for sure. It's just a vibe he has that gives me a little pause, but I'd give it a shot for sure. Coming up on number 5, we've got Pakunoda. Pakunoda, in my opinion, has riz. First of all, she's very attractive. Second of all, she knows how to dress. Third of all, any woman with a revolver can do unspeakable things to me. Additionally, Pakunoda is another very caring member of the Phantom Troupe, and she always goes the extra mile for her loved ones. Needless to say, that's a very attractive quality in a partner. On the other hand, Pakunoda's ability scares me. Sure, there's a condition that she can never touch the person she cherishes most with her ability, but think about that from the perspective of dating. When you start dating her, it's going to be a while before you become her favorite person in the world. And until then, she's totally free to read your mind every time she wants to win an argument. That just seems like the setup for a really volatile and toxic relationship. But you know what? For this baddie, I'd risk it in a heartbeat. Number 4 is gonna go to Finks. Finks is handsome, sure, but more importantly, he's a gentleman to the people he cares about. Remember that scene in the Chimera Ant arc where he gave Shizuku his robe after her clothing got damaged? That was the moment I knew I was gonna be unwell about this man. Plus, he's clever and a bit of a goofball even if he tries to look serious, and those are traits I'm all over. Additionally, he's probably athletic, hence why he's often wearing a tracksuit, and I'd love to be able to work out together. Yeah, on the outside he seems like a bit of a brute, but he's great to the people he cares about, and he's even good with kids. Love you, Finks. Unfortunately, however, you just can't compare with these next 3. Nobunaga and his kicked puppy swag earn 3rd place. This guy is the social punching bag of the Phantom Troupe. He gets left behind in dangerous scenarios, people always call him an idiot, and he just gets made a fool of more often than the other spiders. And see, here's the thing. Like Naoko Takeuchi, I love men who are just a little pathetic. Also, he ticks all the other boxes. Dripped out, handsome, goofball, charming personality, nice to his loved ones, etc. Nobunaga seems like an absolute delight to be around, and I love him so much. This guy is easily husband material. These next 2 were really difficult to decide between, but after long deliberation, I have decided to give 2nd place to Crollo. Specifically, Crollo when he looks like this. I do not know what the fuck was going on with this man's hairline in Yorknew, but it looks disgusting. Modern Crollo, however, is so cute. He is easily the most attractive man in the Spiders, and the most fashionable. Seriously, the guy does not have a single bad outfit. He rocks whatever he wears, and when he doesn't, it's the fault of that hairline. Plus, he's incredibly smart and creative, and I really like that in a partner. He seems a little aloof, sure, but he's a very caring person and is extremely devoted to those around him to the point of tragedy. And sure, it's kind of been buried by trauma, but he still has a whimsical side to him. He enjoys theatrics and acting, and there's still a side of him that knows how to have fun. Look, I'm not the type to go, I could fix him, but I think I could make him a little happier. Oh, and he reads books and has interesting takes on literature. I would love to read and talk about things like whether or not Judas is a traitor with him. I could do that all day. I'm telling you, this man has riz for days, and I am absolutely head over heels for Crollo Lucifer. At last, we come to 1st place, Machi. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm going to have to try really hard not to say some incredibly unhinged things right now. I do not entirely know what it is about Machi that has absolutely captivated me, but holy hell. I'll try to explain what I have surmised anyway. Yes, I love people who are kind and devoted and such, which Machi is at heart, but I also love it when a woman is a little mean to me, and Machi outwardly has that attitude. Also, she dresses well, and she's the only spider aside from modern Chrollo who I'd call drop-dead gorgeous. Additionally, Machi has something that no other spider has, and that's her Nen ability. Once again, I am going to try to keep this as sane and not depraved as possible, but just, she can do some really insane things with her Nen ability. Ever since this scene, I have been truly unwell about this woman. I better stop. I better take a chill pill. I'm gonna do the outro now. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed my unhinged ramblings this time around. Yeah, I know I don't usually do stuff like this, but I wanted to have a little fun for Valentine's Day. With that being said, I do hope you'll join me next time for a slightly, and I do mean slightly, more serious Hunter x Hunter discussion. And I hope you have a wonderful day.